All right, welcome you guys. So today we're going to talk about building a happy business, right? So who in here would like to be more happy in their life and in their business? Drop me into the comments if you would like to be more happy, because what's the point of building the business for yourself if you're going to be miserable most of the time? Not a great idea. Okay, I see loads of me's, so that's good. That's good. That means I'm talking to the right people, because it's more fun when you're happy. And many people got it backwards. They say, well, when I get the results, then I'm going to be happy. When I'm making the money, that's when I'm going to be happy. When I reach this position, when I'm going to be happy. When I'm getting great results in my business, I'm going to be happy then. But it's backwards. Actually, it's been proven that happy people get better results. Happy people get good results faster. Happy people reach higher levels and better income quicker. So the key is not to wait until you reach the results in order for you to become happy. The key is to become happy so you can get to better results faster, right? So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to share with you 10 tips on how to have a happy business. And step number one is for you to define what happiness looks like for you. So what would it mean to be happy for you? Because different people will um, will associate different things with being happy, right? Different people will associate different things on how would it be if they were happy, right? But you can't hit a target that you can't see. You can't hit the target that is fuzzy, right? So you need to know, what does it mean for you to be happy? How would you know that you are happy? Right? How would you know? What would have to happen? How would you have to be? How would you have to feel? How would you wake up? How would you go to bed if you were happy? So step number one is to define what would be happiness for you. How would you identify being happy? Once you've got that clear, once you've got that down and you know what it means for you to be happy, then step number two is make present your friend. Irene, if you can just turn the sound down. Make present your friend. What does it mean? It means that too many people keep looking back. Oh, Gediminas, but I failed last month. Oh, but I failed in my previous business. Oh, but I never got results for 5 years, etc. Right? And they keep looking back and they can't feel happy. They can't be happy about today because they keep reminding themselves of all the bad stuff that happened in their life. They keep reminding themselves of all the failures they had and all the unsuccessful things they had. And how does the law of attraction works, guys? Whatever you think about, that's what you materialize in your life. Whatever you think about most of the time, that's what you're going to materialize in your life. Not what you think about for 5 minutes when you're doing your positive thinking thing. No, for what you're thinking most of the time. So if most of your day you keep thinking about all your failures, all your problems, all the difficulties, guess what you're going to materialize in your life? More bad stuff. If you think about crap, then you attract more crap. You become a crap magnet. I don't think you would want to become a crap magnet in your life, right? So let's stop thinking about all of that stuff and let's think about now. You can't go back to yesterday. You can't go back to last month. You can't change what happened before, but you can do something about now. So make present your friend. Think, what can I do today? What can I do right now in order to improve my life? What can I do right now to be happy, right? Could you choose to be happy? Could you choose to start thinking about happy things? Could you choose to change your state, right? Of course you could if you wanted to, right? Or you can choose to focus on the miserable stuff, on the bad stuff, on the fact that you can't travel, on the fact that you can't go to gym, on the fact that you can't go to the pub, right? You can choose to focus on that. Then that's not going to be fun, right? That's not going to make you too happy, right? And same in business. We have things that are going well, and sometimes we have things that are not going so well. So if you keep focusing on the things that you're lacking, on the things that you didn't achieve last month or a few months ago, then you'll keep attracting more of that stuff. Step number three to a happy business is to stop overthinking it. One of the best advice to most people when I speak to somebody personally, I say, stop overthinking. Because a lot of people are chronic overthinkers. They need to go to Overthinkers Anonymous, because they keep overthinking. Well, what about this? And what if it goes that way? And what if this happens? And what if they don't like it? And what if they laugh at me? Or what if I get a hater? Well, just do it maybe and find out what's going to happen, right? Stop overthinking it, right? Start doing, right? Take action. Actually, no, scrap that. Take uncomfortable action. Because most of the time when you're going to be overthinking it is when it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's you need to do a Facebook Live. Maybe you need to message some strangers. Maybe you need to do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone, right? And then you start this whole process of overthinking. You're thinking about this, that, and the other. Well, what if that happens? And what if she doesn't like it? And what if he thinks that I'm pushing him? And just do it. Stop overthinking it. Stop thinking about it. Start taking action. If you're overthinking, that means you're not in action. So take more of the uncomfortable action. Step number 4 to have a happier business is focus on the positive outcome. Too many people, they think, what could go wrong? Why would you think about that? Why would you think about what could go wrong, right? Because then again, you're just going to attract more of the stuff that could go wrong, right? It's like when they teach you to drive a racing car or to do water rafting, right? They say, look where you want to go with your boat. Don't look where you don't want to go, because most people, they look at that tree trunk or look at that stone in the water. They go, oh, I don't want to hit that. And because they look at that, that's exactly where they go. That's exactly what they hit, right? So you need to focus on what you want. So stop thinking about what could go wrong and think, what could go right? What if I do this thing? What could go right? What could happen? What positive thing could come out of this, right? And focus on that positive outcome. That will make you happier. That will make you in a better mood. And there's a bigger chance that you'll get that positive outcome. Step number 5, for a more positive business, you have to let go of the specific outcome. Actually, let go of the outcome altogether. Like my mentor Ray Higdon says, focus on the activity and not the result. Do you control who's going to buy from you? Not. That person will decide whether to buy a product from you or not. You don't control that. Do you control if somebody's going to join your team or not? Nope. They're going to decide whether to join your team or not. So if you can't control it, is it wise to focus on that? Is it wise to really get obsessed by that? Not really, because you can't control it, so you'll always feel stressed about it, right? Instead, you should focus on something you can control. And what you can control is activity. You can control how many messages you'll send. You can control how many phone calls you'll do. You can control how many posts you'll do on social media, how many stories you're going to put up, and so on, right? You can control that bit. So focus on the activity and not on the result. Sometimes the outcome might be different from what you expected, but actually it's going to turn out a good outcome. So not always you'll get exactly what you think you're going to get, but sometimes what you get is even better than what you expected it. Right? So stop focusing on that one specific outcome, because if you don't get it, that gets you stressed out. That gets you upset. You're not happy then, etc. Right? So sometimes the unexpected outcome can be the best outcome available. Step number 6 to a happier business, don't be afraid to fail. One bad thing they teach us in school, that it's bad to fail. When you do your test, they go with red marker and mark all your mistakes and they say, bad, you shouldn't fail. You should get it right? And it teaches us that it's bad to make mistakes. And maybe it works in school, but not so much in life, and especially in business. Because in business, we actually need to find more ways to fail and fail faster. Because what does it mean when you fail something? Let's say you tried a strategy on social media and it didn't work and you failed. Let's say you tried to sell somebody a product and you said the wrong thing and you didn't sell. Let's say you tried to recruit this person and you messed up, you said the wrong thing and you failed. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means you've learned something. You've learned how not to say it. You've learned how not to do a post. You've learned how not to do something, right? So you can't really fail. You either win or you learn, right? So you either win and you go, yes, that worked. Yes, that got me a customer. Yes, that got me a team member. Or you go, oops, that didn't work. That means something that I've learned. And guess what? The longer you do it, the more times you're going to fail, but the more strategies you'll learn that not working. And then the more strategies you'll get that do work. that do get you the result, right? So try to fail as much as you can, right? If you haven't failed, it just shows that you haven't tried enough times. There's this saying which says that a master failed more times than a novice even tried, right? So what makes a master is all these failures, all these experiences that person has of learning all the ways how it doesn't work, right? So fail wonderfully, fail forward, right? Because a lot of people have this incorrect conception that this is you in the middle, failure is on one side, failing is on one side, and success is on the other side, right? But that's not correct. Actually, this is you here, this is failure, and this is success. Failure is part of the journey towards the success. Path towards success is paved with failure, right? Is paved with ways how it didn't work, right? And I love the Winston Churchill quote, which says, success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And that's really what makes the difference between happy leaders and unhappy leaders. Unhappy leaders are miserable every time they fail, are upset and angry every time something doesn't work, right? And it makes their life a living hell. But happy leaders, they don't get upset by it. They don't lose enthusiasm when they fail. They don't lose enthusiasm when something doesn't work out, because they know this, they got tomorrow, they've got the next day, they've got the next try, right? And they can always get it right the next time round. So that's step number 6. Step number 7 towards being a happy leader and having a happy business is to let go of the grudges. One of my all-time favorite quotes is from Nelson Mandela. And he said that resentment, it's like drinking poison and hoping that your enemy will die. That's not very smart, is it? It's not a very smart strategy, right? Because when you feel resentment, guess who it hurts the most? It hurts you the most. You are the person who gets all the stress and we know that all of these diseases are connected with bad feelings and bad emotions and stress, etc. So when you hate somebody, when you're angry at somebody, when you despise somebody, right, all it does, it hurts you the most. That person, most likely, they don't even know you hate them. That person, most likely, don't even know that you have this grudge against them. But for you, it's really damaging. For you, it makes you a miserable person. It makes you a upset person. It makes you a sad person. And then you don't have a happy business, right? So let go of these grudges. It doesn't mean that nobody's ever going to upset you, right? Like, I've never met a person who never gets upset, right? Some people will upset you. Some people will do things that are outrageous. Some people will annoy you, right? It's normal. But the difference between a happy leader and not a happy leader is that a happy leader lets go of those grudges, whilst a miserable leader will keep those grudges. One day I'll show them, I'll give them, I'll do something back to them. It's pointless, right? So let go of those grudges as fast as you can, because you need to empty that bucket for good emotion. Imagine if this was the container. Whoops, is it going to work? Imagine if this was the container in your body where you keep all your emotions, all your feelings. And imagine if half of that cup is filled up with anger, with bitterness, with grudges, with jealousy, etc. Then guess what? You've got very little room for happiness. You've got very little space for good feelings. But if you get rid of all of those bad feelings, if you let go of those grudges, if you let go of all of those things, then you've got more space for happiness in your life. You've got more space for good feelings in your life. Wouldn't that be a better option? I think that would be a better option. So decide to forgive and forget today. And when you forgive somebody, it doesn't mean it justifies what they've done. It doesn't mean it's okay that they done whatever bad thing they done to you or upset you in the whatever way they upset you, but it frees you from that thing. So it's completely selfish thing to do, to forgive. It's not saying, oh, it's okay what they've done. No. It doesn't justify it, but it releases you from all of that crap, right? And I would love you to release yourself from that crap. Step number 8, be grateful for what's in front of you. If you want to be a happy leader and have a happy business, you need to practice gratitude more often. What if you lowered the bar of gratitude? Because right now you may say, oh, well, I'm not a diamond yet, so I can't be grateful, right? Oh, I'm not making all of this money, so I can't be grateful, right? Well, what if you lowered the bar? What if you lowered the bar and you started being grateful for smaller things? Like, for example, did you know that 150,000 people die every day? 150,000 people didn't wake up this morning. You did. That's something to be grateful about. You can breathe right now. That's also something to be grateful about. Maybe you got some food in the fridge. Could be grateful for that too. Maybe you got a roof over your head that's not leaking. That's also something to be. You understand what I'm saying? And same in your business. Instead of saying, "Oh, why don't I have more leaders?" Couldn't you be grateful for the ones you have? Oh, why am not making more money? Couldn't you be grateful for the money you're actually making? And so on and so on. How many things you could find to be grateful about your business? And if you focused on all of those things, if you were grateful for all of those things, guess what that does? Guess what that does? It attracts more things to be grateful for. But if you're constantly focusing on what's missing, if you're constantly focusing on what's bad, if you're constantly focusing on, then you're going to be stressed out of your head. Then you're going to have a miserable life and miserable business. Do you really want that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Number 9, step number 9 to a happy business. Don't settle for good enough. You know, I saw this quote. It said, don't do the best you can. Do your best. Do you get the difference? Don't do the best you can. Do your best, right? So don't settle for something because somebody said, as soon as you settle for less than you deserve less than what you settled for. The minute you settle for less than what you deserve less than what you've settled for. Does that make sense? So same in business. If you want to be a happy leader, usually once you've taken care of your basic needs, like the 2 top needs in people's life is growth and contribution, which means making progress and helping other people, right? Both things that we can do in this business, right? So don't settle for something and say, oh, that's going to be good enough. I'm okay with this, right? It's totally cool to be content and to be happy with everything, but set the next goal. Set the next mountain to climb. Set the next mission. Set the next thing you're going to attack. Set the next challenge for your life. Not that you need challenges in your life, but don't just settle for something that is good enough. Well, what would it be great? Like, how would you like it to be? If you had a magic wand, if you could have it the way you want it, how would you like it to be? How much money would you like to make? How big team would you like to have? How many people would you like to help? And so on, right? And keep going for what you really want, not just for something that's going to be good enough, because most people live the good enough life, right? When they were kids, they wanted to be astronauts, they wanted to drive Ferrari, live in a castle, and marry the prince, right? And now, they work as a cashier, they live in a 2-bedroom flat, they drive a 10-year-old Toyota, and who did they marry? Well, I'm not going to get into that, right? So they settle, right? They go for the good enough, right? Don't go for the good enough. You can have whatever you want, right? So why go for the good enough? Go for the best. Go for everything you can get out of this life, right? Because again, you only get this one go. A lot of people treat this as if this was like a trial run life, right? Like you're going to get the next one, right? But I don't know where we go after this one, right? But here on this spinning, planet around the sun, we only get one go. So let's make the best out of it, right? And then the last step, number 10, for a happy business is be part of something bigger than yourself. It's okay to take care of yourself. When you're on an airplane, that's what they say. Put on your oxygen mask first before you help other people. So yes, all of us, we have to help ourselves first. One of my favorite sayings is that you can't help the poor if you're one of them. It's difficult to do that, right? So first you have to help yourself, then you can help other people too, right? But make your vision bigger. Make your goals bigger. right? Not just about you, not just about making few hundred quid extra, not just, for getting that car fixed or that washing machine replaced, but make it bigger, right? That it wouldn't only inspire you, but it would actually inspire other people to go on that journey with you. It would inspire other people to go after this mission, right? And that again will keep you more happy because you're growing. That's one of those things, growth and contribution. So you're growing, you're progressing, you got something to aim for, you have something to work for. You might have heard this thing where they say that a lot of people, when they retire from their jobs, they die like 6 months later. Why? Because there's no purpose left in their life. There's nothing to go for, nothing to wait for, nothing to aim for anymore, right? Like their life becomes meaningless. Their life becomes pointless. So my wish for you is that you would never retire. And it doesn't mean that you have to work 16-hour days all day long, every day, etc. But the idea is that you would always have the next goal to go for. You would always have the next mountain to climb. You would always have the next mission, the next vision. And even when you're in your 70s and 80s and 90s, you would still be on a stage, inspiring other people, sharing your story, sharing your experience, sharing your vision, never to retire, never to go tired of life, etc. Because that's the worst thing that could happen for you, right? So these are the 10 tips for a happy business. Hope you guys got value from this.